Okay guys, here we are outside, and I've got down here on my workbench, I've got my template, I've got a couple of pieces of the material I'm going to use to make some of these shelves, and I've got my jigsaw all set up over here, right down here, and you can see that the teeth on this blade are angled down. So when I'm making this cut, the primary cut direction will be down towards the material, making sure that the material on top stays clean and doesn't get, I don't have any tear out on the working side of my workpiece because of the tooth direction on the blade. Very similar to the way we set up the scroll saw with the teeth pointing down to minimize tear out. And also give us a little bit more control because I will have the piece clamped down onto the onto the bench. So I'm going to get this clamped up, and then we'll trace out the shape and get these shelves cut out. Okay, so we're back up here in the bathroom, and we're gonna slide this shelf that we just made into position and see how well it fits. So that gives us a pretty good fit right there. It's tight enough at the front actually that the shelf will support itself. And so what I will do now is I'm just going to take my pencil and draw some marks on the wall underneath so that I know where I need to attach the supports that are going to hold these shelves up, and then I can attach those and get these shelves put into place. Then when I come back to caulk along the trim and the shower surround, I'm also going to run a bead along the edge of this shelf and along the top of this trim right here. You can see there is a little bit of a gap in the back, and when I come back with my caulk, I will fill that up. I'm also going to come along the top of this trim, and I'm going to come along in the corner here and fill all these nail holes with the caulk as I'm going along, so that all of this has nice clean edges on it. So there we go. We've got some custom shelves that fit a funny space. We were able to make those fit pretty well into the space. I'm gonna go ahead and get the cleats that the shelves are gonna sit on installed and get these shelves in, and then we're done. Okay, so to get these cleats loaded up here and mounted on the wall, first, this is what I'm going to use for my cleat. This is just the extra pieces of the molding that I added around the beadboard in here. So I'm going to take those extra pieces and use those to support the shelves. Normally I would either nail or screw these into place, but because of the tight confined space that I'm working in, I can't get my nail gun in there. So instead, I'm going to use this Power Grab caulk. I used this to install the shower, and I had a little bit left over, and it'll provide more than enough strength for what we're doing here today. So I'm going to spin the camera around here. So here's my piece of molding, and I've got my caulking gun, and what I'm going to do is just run a small bead of caulk along this top edge here and along the bottom edge there. Those are the two spots where this is going to make contact with the wall. And then the nice thing about this type of adhesive is that it bonds really quickly and strongly. So all I need to do is line this up in the position where I want it, and press it firmly into place, and hold for about, I'm going to hold it for about 10 seconds. Just putting good pressure on that against the wall. And that should do it. I can leave that now without needing to hold it in place while I work on the other pieces. So now I'm going to let those dry. I'm going to talk to my wife and find out exactly where she wants the other shelf located, and I will get the cleats installed for that. I'm going to let this dry for a couple hours, and then I'll be able to come back and put the shelves in and be finished with this part of the project.